Hello, today we have the amazing Abbie McCarthy here to chat to us about being a woman in the music industry and gender stereotypes and everything that comes with that. So, do you want to introduce yourself and tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Yes, hello everybody. I'm Abbie McCarthy. I'm a TV and radio presenter. You'll find me shouting about new music on BBC Introducing or For Music, interviewing the stars of the future. I'm also a DJ, so you'll see me popping up on festival stages this summer, and I host and curate my own gig nights in London, which are called Good Karma Club, which again are focused on finding the best new music. I'm obsessed.
Amazing. Okay, well, we're going to chat to you a little bit today about gender stereotypes in the music industry. And I think you have a really unique perspective as working both in radio and TV and also being a female DJ. Our first question is, what are your thoughts on the current state of gender equality in the music industry?
I think there's been some good progress. I feel like there's more female and non-binary people getting like the exec jobs in the music industry, which I love to see. And rooms that I'm walking into are slowly becoming like a bit more representative than they were previously. But there's still a long way to go. I think sometimes it's just like people's language or treatment of certain people. You just think, hang on a minute, we've come a long way. The dial is definitely turning, but yeah, still a long way to go. And that's why something like International Women's Day is so important, to celebrate the females and non-binary people in your life that make a difference, but also to keep these conversations going because yeah, the work still needs to get done.
Absolutely, I completely agree. Okay, amazing. Do you see a difference in the way that female and non-binary musicians and DJs are treated compared to male DJs and musicians?
I think the biggest thing is like around age and aesthetics. Like if you're an older male, you're celebrated as being like an icon and a silver fox. Whereas like if you're a woman, you're expected to almost like stay young forever. Or if you're above a certain age, people are like, oh, she's still doing it, is she? And it's almost like you have to present in a certain way as well. And I think in the DJ space, because I'm a woman, I think sometimes people think I'm technically not going to be as good as my male counterparts, which is so annoying, as you can imagine. And it's just like, patronizing questions and instructions. Oh, do you need me to put these on for you? Oh, I've used these before. I can show you this, this, and this. And it's just rubbish because to me, so many of my favorite DJs happen to be female. Like Jaguar is a great friend of mine at BBC Introducing, Sarah Story and Radio One. Obviously the Girls Don't Sink Collective are doing so much in that space as well. And I love seeing them, taking over like spaces at festivals and, they're getting higher and higher up the bill, which is amazing. And I feel like the more that people see that, the more it'll be like, oh yeah, they're sick. And it'll just be like, they're a great DJ. It won't even be about, oh, they're female or they're male or they're non-binary or they're trans. It's just like, they're a great DJ and I love their selections and I remember how they made me feel because the dance floor is like meant to be one of the most inclusive places, right? We all go to like let loose, rave, have a good time. So let's embrace that. Let's just if we see someone that's a DJ that's great, just make sure that we tell them and celebrate that.
Yeah, absolutely. I personally love Ariel Free. I think she's brilliant.
Yeah, an absolute hun. The way she dances around the decks and
Yeah,
stuff, you gotta
she's
rate it.
amazing. She's so good. I think when people think of the big DJs, they think of Calvin Harris and David Guetta. I think that we need more females in that space and celebrate it. They're already there. We just need to celebrate them more. Abbie McCarthy should be headlining Glastonbury.
I mean, let's put it out there. That's what we
Yeah,
got to do. We've got to manifest in this life.
exactly. So on that note, how do you feel that we can challenge and dismantle the stereotypes that are currently facing like women and non-binary DJs and musicians in the music industry?
Like I was saying, there's definitely work to be done, but I think by having like honest, open conversations and like putting a spotlight on some of these issues and like how the stereotyping actually feels from our point of view, for women and for non-binary people, I think people will just be like, oh, I didn't realize that that tone or the way I said that actually made someone feel that way. So hopefully that will make a bit of a difference. And just the more representative the music industry becomes, the better, because then there's going to be like, a really diverse pool of people to speak to, learn from, and there'll be such a better range of ideas as well. Like you're only as strong as your team. So your team needs to represent the whole of society, really, doesn't it? And I'm kind of excited about the next generation coming through because I feel like they're not going to experience the music industry that we have and some of the kind of downsides of it. Like there's this night I've been hosting in London since the start of the year called the Name Games, and it's a platform for female, trans, and non-binary people looking to get into the music industry. And it's really nice because they're like really small, intimate meetups. I do Q&As with various people in the music industry, like all different jobs, so people can kind of learn which one they'd be most interested in. And I feel like lots of them, if they then go and action that, like we've met some amazing young people through that, and it just makes me excited for the future. And they're not going to join a music industry that's male, pale, and stale. It's going to be great. It's going to be thriving. It's going to be representative. And I think that's why those nights and those spaces are really important. And yeah, and these conversations, be as honest as you possibly can about your experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you are doing so much yourself to like further push that change, which is incredible. And you're right, I'm so excited for the next generation of musicians and artists and people behind the scenes. And hopefully by having these honest conversations, we are making that change for them. And it benefits everybody. So quite similar, but I guess as we've been speaking about aspiring musicians and the next generation, what advice would you give to aspiring female and non-binary musicians and DJs, and really anyone who wants to get into the music industry, who are facing challenges in their careers or coming up into the industry?
I think that's a tough one, isn't it? But I think if you can like build a trusted team or like a bit of a support network who can just like help you. So if you are feeling these, challenges, you've got someone to vent to, number one, but also they can kind of like fight your corner a little bit and maybe take you out of situations where you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable. I think it's so nice just knowing you've got people around you who've got your best interests. And also speak your truth, like just be honest about the challenges that you're facing. I know that's sometimes not always easy, but if you can, speak up because it is going to help others. And if you're a musician, channel it into the music you're making, because that in turn is gonna help somebody else. And there's no better thing than a musical big middle finger up, is there? So do it.
I love that. Incredible. Well, the last question that we have for you is a bit more of a fun one. But we would love to know what you're most proud of achieving in your career.
I'm blushing. I don't know what to say. What am I most proud of? I feel like I'm someone who does the vision board thing. So there's been a few things that I've like ticked off on that list. DJing at Glastonbury, got to do that for the last couple of years, which is amazing. Got my own radio show, obviously doing BBC Introducing, which I've been doing for 10 years now, which is wild.
Hope for 10 more years, you absolutely slay that show. So I'm hoping for a
Let's
lot
hope
longer.
so. And what's the other thing that I've always, oh, like host the main stage at Reading Festival, which is like always been such goals. But so they're things that I've ticked off. But I think the thing that I feel like most proud of and like passionate about is my gig night, Good Karma Club, because it's so fun to see like a little idea that you had in your head, like become realized and become this real thing. And it's like a thing that lots of other people love now as well. And it just started in a tiny pub in London, and now we've done shows all over London. We've done shows at like some bigger venues in London, like the Garage and Lafayette and Amira, and you just think that's so great. And it started as something just really independent, and I get to meet loads of people through the night, and obviously had on some incredible musicians over the years, including Anya Dean, who I'm chatting to right now. Yeah, it's just grown into this amazing thing. We've done 3 sold out tours. We've done a showcase over in America at South by Southwest, and yeah, some big plans that we're plotting at the minute. So I'd probably say that.
I think that night is it's such a special night. And I think that it's really cool that you have this idea that you've seen through and you've followed through on it. And it's now become this amazing thing. It's how we met. It's how I've met so many other amazing artists. I know so many people love your Good Karma Club night. So also if anyone is watching this, you should be going to Abbie Mac's Good Karma Club nights. They are phenomenal, not just for the talent, but for the people you meet. You meet so many like-minded people. I think I'm most proud of you achieving that. I think that that
Oh,
is an
thanks.
incredible thing that you've done, and I hope that you continue to do that for a very long time.
You know what? It's actually got me thinking of another point. I think what's great about that is it was just an idea, and I started it with some friends, and it just grew. Because I think sometimes in the music industry, we're looking for like a big name or a gatekeeper to say yes. And actually, you don't need to do that. You can kind of just go out and start it yourself. You know, obviously it started much smaller and then it's grown and now we have like a bigger promoter on board and stuff. But I just think if anyone's watching this and they've got an idea, just do it. Like you're only going to learn from doing it. Like don't wait for permission. Just go get them.
I think that's so important. I think loads of people wait for the big label, the big management team, the big booking, anything. And I think you can start so small and you never know where it will take you, but you won't know unless you start.
Yeah, exactly that. To do it.
So go and do it. Amazing. Well, thank you so, so much for chatting with us today. We have loved having you on.
Thank you for having me.
And happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day.